Good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this September 28th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. And we're on the EOA network, and we're glad you're here this morning. How are you, man?
Good. The EOA network is Roku, Facebook, YouTube, the website, Spotify, the Apple Store, and then we also have an app that you can download on Android and on Apple.
Yep. So your commercial advertising dollars can go to all of those locations, which is why we're calling it
broad spectrum.
Yeah. So
First Friday.
Yeah.
First Friday. It's just this week went by fast. I'm finally feeling a little better today.
Yeah.
I felt kind of crummy this week.
Yeah.
But better today.
It's going around.
I know. It wasn't like any it wasn't like a flu symptoms or anything, just stuffed up and
yeah.
Probably just an onset cold. I was talking with Bennett the other day, like this summer is the best allergy summer I've ever had that I can remember in my whole life.
Well, and I think he agreed with that too, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I didn't have any issues. And there's been times where like I'm completely like just miserable with allergies. Same with my son. And he lives over on the west side in the pollen capital of the world.
Yeah.
In the Willamette Valley. They grow more grass seed there than anywhere in the U.S. And he didn't even hardly have any allergies this year.
Wow.
I don't know what it is. Maybe the aliens sprayed some stuff. Spray a little anti-allergen spray in the air or something. Maybe they're trying to prep us for their Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a UFO?
No. No. I never seen a Bigfoot either. No, I've watched a couple of them shows about them people that believe in Bigfoot. That's one. Okay, I can grab onto the alien thing. There's probably something.
Okay,
but the Bigfoot thing, we would have found a body. Either that or Bigfoot is the world champion at hide and seek.
At hiding what?
Hide and seek.
Oh yeah.
We've never found, you know what I mean? We would have found a body or a bone or something. You know what I mean? Like it's not possible that something that large lives in the woods or wherever they think it lives. The swamp ape, Sasquatch, whatever. It's called different things in different parts of the world. Yeah.
Well, and I think I would agree with that in the sense of because how would it sustain its race? In other words, I mean, you'd have to have pairs of Bigfoots. They'd have to be mating and duplicating, and because
And we would have found a body.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have found a body, and nobody can prove that they found a body or a body part.
Yeah.
They don't just. What do they bury each other?
Yeah. So what do you think? The people that do have those sightings? Do you think they're like just totally nuts or making it up, or that they're just mistaken?
There's this podcast that I watch called Milk Boys, and they're like these Canadians that come to America. They came to America. They're young. They're just partiers, like 20, but they also do pranks. And they went to somewhere here in Oregon because it's very common here in Oregon.
Yeah.
Over on the west side, and they set this whole elaborate hoax up on this guy, and man, he was all in it. He thought he was going to get paid. Like they even had a helicopter fly in with like guys that look like FBI agents and everything. And this guy is thinking he's going to get paid for seeing Bigfoot. Man, no, those guys are nuts, man. It's like they grab onto something that I'm a realist in the terms of like, I need to see it, touch it, like to believe, I mean, I have faith in God, but outside of that, no.
Yeah.
No, those people are whack jobs in my eyes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So if you're a Bigfoot believer,
Yeah.
Are you?
I don't think I have an opinion.
What do you mean? You think there's a possibility?
I think there has to be. I don't think that everybody's lying. That's what I don't think. I think that there are people who think that they genuinely saw a Bigfoot.
Okay.
Now, whether they did see a Bigfoot or not, that's a whole nother discussion. So,
well, you can't be on the middle of the fence about this. Either you believe in Bigfoot or you don't.
I can be wherever I want.
So you're saying that there's a possibility that there's a Bigfoot.
I think
If you're not saying I don't believe in Bigfoot, then that means that you think there's a possibility.
I don't think I've seen enough. I don't, I mean, I guess I haven't thought about the fact that what you just raised is we've never seen any bodies.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
But I think there are new species of beings that are found every day, whatever that might be, now.
But not 7 foot tall, 400, 500 pound species being found every day.
Yeah. I remember when we were talking the other day and it was like, I'm okay with somebody having an opinion different in mine.
Yeah.
I'm just not okay with them thinking that I need to adopt theirs.
Yeah.
This is one of those situations.
Well, what I'm saying is you're dodging a question.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to say yes or no. Why?
Because I have doubts both ways.
So
how hard? I mean, are you sure about everything one way or the other?
No, but so you're saying that you think there's a possibility that
I think there's a possibility. But I feel the same way about aliens. Okay. I mean, I don't. I mean, we don't have. I mean, if I saw an alien body or a video, or I had some evidence of some, then I would. I mean, so Bigfoot and aliens are kind of in the same camp.
Yeah, and I wasn't pushing my idea on you. I was trying to clarify whether you believed in Bigfoot or not. Because I mean, you either do or you don't. And if you say you're in the middle, then you do because there's that little chance. You know what I mean? Like there's a chance that you believe in it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not a Bigfoot believer. I'm unconvinced either way.
Would you go out and look for one?
No.
No, you wouldn't go out there with like the collars and all that stuff and try to find a Bigfoot.
No, but I would be open to someone saying, "Yeah, I believe there's a Bigfoot." I would listen to them.
Well, I mean, I have listened. I've watched a few of the shows. You know what I mean? And to me, it's just like until you can show a body or a bone, there's just not enough tangible evidence to me.
But here's the same. I feel the same way. I feel the same way about evolution. Okay, so has species evolved? Yes, clearly. I mean, things have evolved over the years and so on and so forth.
Yes.
But on the same hand, show me the skeleton of a half bird, half fish, or whatever the process is. So there's some missing chunks that are just missing there. So it's like,
yeah. I don't know. I've always been one of the like people where it's like, if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. And, I mean,
what about
they don't have any good video of a Bigfoot either.
Yeah.
None. Yeah. I mean, it's all sketchy. You know what I mean? Like,
so what do you do in life when it's neither one way or the other?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's tons of issues where you have to be open-minded and listen, but you don't have enough evidence to go one way or the other.
I give me an example.
Like aliens.
Aliens, I think there are. I mean, they've in the last couple months they've come out with some pretty tangible evidence.
I know, but if there was an alien body that was current, we'd see it. It'd be all over the newspaper, be on the news and everything, And I mean, I'm not talking some random I mean, I'm just saying it would. And there's not that kind of evidence. So and we don't have to go into it. I mean, we've spent enough time. Let's talk about sports, but the point is there's a lot of things in life that are like you don't have the evidence one way or the other. So
yeah, let's go to sports.
All right.
LHS football is in Baker tomorrow for the GOL opener, 7:00 p.m. It's a big game. It's the first conference game for the Tigers. They're 1-3 right now. They're off to a little bit of a rough start, but this is what matters starting tomorrow, and this is what decides whether or not we make the playoffs. Not this game, but this GOL schedule where we play Crook County, Baker, Ontario, Pendleton. So, I mean, tomorrow's huge. So it'd be really nice to get off to a good start in the GOL because, I mean, we got some tough games. Ontario's better than they've been in a long time. Crook County's decent. Pendleton's in the top 5 in the coaches poll. So We got a rough road ahead if we want to make the playoffs, but I got faith. EOU men's soccer is at home tomorrow at 4:00 up at Community Stadium. They play OIT, and then the women play after that at 6:30. And then they turn around and do it again on Saturday versus Southern at Community Stadium. The men play at 4:30. The women play at 7. EOU football is at home on Saturday. 1:00 start against Frontier Conference newcomer Arizona Christian. This is going to be EOU's first time playing them in a conference game. So the good thing is we looked better last week. We're 0-4. Arizona Christian's 2-2. Arizona Christian lost to Carroll a couple weeks ago, who's number 10 in the country, and they beat Montana State Northern, which everybody should beat. So I think this is going to be a good game for EOU. I think we have a chance at getting our first win of the season, really. EOU volleyball makes the Salem-Eugene trip. They dropped to number 4 in the polls, which is kind of unbelievable for me. Lee Wright commented on there, how could they only have one loss and drop all the way to number 4? And I talked to Kaki about it a little bit, and she believes we're in the right spot. So, if the coach believes that, then I believe it. We play on tomorrow night at 7, we play Corbin. So it's number 4 in the country versus number 5, which is a huge game. This game is huge. And I think we beat them because EOU is super deep and Corbin relies on really one person. And she's the one person is the attacker of the year in the whole country last year. And she's really good. But I think we can get by them. And then we turn around and play Bushnell on Saturday at 5. The EOU men's and women's cross country go to Bush Park in Salem at the Willamette U Invite on Saturday at 8:30. Benny will be running way further than I would ever like to run. I think that in college they run 7 or 8 Ks, sometimes 6, which is, that's a third of a marathon.
8 Ks, Benny says.
8 Ks, yeah. So 8 K is just under a third of a marathon. Yeah. I haven't ran 8K since I was 22 years old.
Wow.
8K is a long run. BC, you ever run 8K before?
Are you kidding?
I think the most I've ever run in my life was in baseball. Obviously, I was a pitcher in college, and we had 4-mile days. Yeah. A 4-mile day is a tough day. Yeah. It really is, and I don't know how far that is, but it for a baseball player, 4 miles is a tough day. And for Benny, that's like a walk in the park. It's crazy.
Yeah, no.
But that's all I got for sports. Brought to you by Rock & Sons Tire and Auto. East End of Adams and LeGrand. Go see JB and the boys.
Yep. How many miles was 8K, Benny? It's 5 miles. He says. Yeah.
So, I've almost ran an 8K when I was in college, but no, and not for pleasure. No.
Yeah.
No way.
No, I guess the long, when you're in junior high and in PE class, you have to run a mile just to, that was probably the last time I ran a mile. When I was in, when I was in high school, I did wrestling and football.
Wrestling, you run a lot. Well, at least
you ran a lot, but it's not like a measured distance. It was like, it was torture running, conditioning running was awful.
Yeah, so. I'm not a fan of running. Not at all. If you see me running, you better run too. Something wrong. That's what I always do.
You're running from something.
I like walking. I love walking.
Yeah.
I love walking. I'll walk anywhere.
I'm trying to get, my knee is nearly back to where I can go for walks again.
Not a fan of the old running. No. It's crazy because some people get like such a good endorphin release from it, and it's never.
Have you ever gotten the endorphin thing? That was me too. It's like I have. Yeah, that is it. That's the most foreign thought ever to me. Is like there's nothing enjoyable about. Yeah, there's nothing that I get out there and I'm working really hard, and it's like, and my body goes, yeah. Don't you feel good? It's like
I think maybe it's because every time I've had to run, which is a lot. In being a college athlete and. Every time I had to run, I was pissed.
Yeah,
because I had to run.
Because you had to run. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
maybe that's why I never got that.
No, and that was You know, when you were playing team sports and somebody does something stupid and then everybody has to run laps or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, you're pissed.
That's a powerful motivation.
Yeah.
To like, you want to kill that dude. Like, don't make that mistake again. So, yep. All right. Well, hey, let's look at the weather outside. It's kind of, I don't know what it is. It's not raining, but it sure acts like it wants to.
Overcast.
Yeah.
Kind of gonna be. It's not gonna get real warm.
No, I think I saw 62 is going to be the high today. 62, and then tomorrow.
It's almost gonna get down to freezing tonight. 36.
Wow. And then tomorrow 62, Saturday 52, Sunday 59. Those are the highs coming up.
Hopefully the rain holds off on Saturday for football. Looks like it's going to be all right tomorrow.
What time is that game at 1 on Saturday?
Back to normal time on Saturday. 1 p.m.
And again, the volleyball is what time?
It's on the road.
Right. It is.
The road. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Both those games are on the road, so they're not here local.
No.
That'd be fun. Did they play? Have they played Corbin here yet?
No. This is the first game of the year against Corbin.
Yeah.
So we will get them here a little later in the season.
And where is Corbin at? I'm sorry.
Corbin's in Salem.
Okay. Sorry for my ignorance.
And then Bushnell is in Eugene. So that's that. Bushnell and Corbin are travel partners. So when we go on the road to play one of them, we play the other one the next day.
Got it.
And then when they come over here, we'll play one of them on Friday, one on Saturday, and we'll flip with C of I. So one will be at C of I, one will be here, and then it flips.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
All righty. Well, this morning we have Marianne Meisner with us this morning, and she is the president of LeGrand Main Street downtown, here to talk to us about the Harvest Festival, which is coming up a week from this Saturday. She'll be with us right after this. All right. So do you think that there's a Bigfoot?
No, I don't.
So you agree with Kyle?
I do agree with Kyle. I think if there was a Bigfoot, you would see Bigfoot families.
Okay.
and you'd see a lot of them around.
Yeah, that's kind of back to they would be able to
Reproduce.
they would have reproduce and have a
Sure.
population and so on and so
Sure.
forth. Yeah,
I mean, and how long has Bigfoot been around?
right.
Years and
Right,
years.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
That guy would be really old.
Right. So he would have died and would have had to have families and so on and
That's
so
right.
forth. Yeah.
So, no, I don't believe in Bigfoot.
And you probably would have, you follow that train of thought, you probably would have Bigfoot children
Oh yeah,
who
definitely.
don't obey, and they're always getting seen in the wrong place in the wrong time.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you never heard of anybody seeing a child looking Bigfoot? Or
Yeah, like somebody would have hit one with a car, or something. Even if they bury themselves, there would have been some sort of an accident. One might have fell off a cliff down into a ravine, and
agree.
you know what I mean. Like they can't find every Bigfoot and bury it.
No.
This is a good conversation. I mean, this is a way longer conversation than I've ever had with anybody. So I'm being more and more convinced all the time.
We're gonna sway them into not believing Bigfoot. That's the whole intent.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, well, hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Trying to get it all finished.
Good. Glad that you are here with us now.
Thank you.
You and I have known each other a lot because of I served on the board, the LeGrand Main Street board. I don't know, 7 or 8 years or something like that. But you've been on there from the beginning.
From the beginning.
And you're still there.
I'm still there.
Yes, and I'm very incredibly thankful for your dedication.
Well, I think my term goes off on you have 2 3-year terms, or 3 3-year terms you can have.
Right.
So my first of this next 3-year term ends on December 20 of 25.
Okay.
Whether or not I go for another one or not is another story.
Okay. Well, we're thankful that you're there.
Thank you.
You followed me as the president of LeGrand Main Street downtown, and I kind of forced you into that corner, shoehorned you into that a little bit because we needed, you had done everything else except president,
right,
and multiple times,
right,
yeah, and so we needed. I knew I was going to be going off, and we needed some experienced leadership to keep that going, and so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for doing that. So, but one of your brainchilds for a long time has been a harvest.
Yeah, a community
harvest festival.
Right.
Okay. And that's what we're here to talk about.
Right.
So the Community Harvest Festival is next Saturday, October the 9th.
7th.
October the 7th.
Right.
Thank you. That's Saturday. And so tell us what that is. I mean, kind of tell us how that came together.
Well, my idea of the Community Harvest Festival was to get all the different committees, or I should say clubs in town, which we have.
Service organizations.
The service organizations to come together and put this on. So nobody's really responsible for the whole thing. Each service organization is responsible for their own event.
Okay.
And so Main Street is just kind of overseeing it. And I'm trying to I have the vendors lined up. I have to map out where everybody's going to be.
Okay.
What each activity is going to be.
And so this starts at 11 o'clock on the Saturday, next Saturday on the 7th. Okay. And so tell me the organizations that are a part of that.
Well, the organizations part of it, of course, are the Chamber of Commerce, LeGrand's Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Seroptimus, Rotary, Lions, Optimist, Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay. And again, Main Street is just kind of the clearinghouse. They're kind of the thing that's pulling this all together, which is different than like the trick or treat event, which will happen on trick or treat on the 31st. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that is an event that is fully coordinated by LeGrand Main Street downtown.
Right. And the businesses downtown.
Right. Right.
We just say, we send out, we want to know who's going to be coming down to the trunk or treat.
Okay.
That's what our main part is.
Okay. And so, but this one is, you're just getting these service organizations to do different things.
Right.
Right. Okay. But all of downtown is going to be closed, similarly to Crazy Days.
Except we're only going to First Street,
Okay.
and we're going to close Washington. Fourth between Adams and Washington, because the marketplace is going to have a barbecue.
Okay.
And the fresh food is going to have a barbecue, and I know there's going to be a petting zoo there.
Okay.
And some things from Nature's Pantries coming over.
Okay.
And they'll have, I'm not even quite sure because I'm not the one coordinating that one.
So the 4th and Adams intersection will also be closed.
Yes, it will. So we'll have to close the street on 3rd.
Okay. Okay. Which is, I mean, and you and I have talked about that before. That's a cool, I mean, I know that it impacts traffic.
It does.
But when we close downtown, people have to go around anyhow.
Right.
But when we don't close 4th Street, that's where the traffic comes back onto Adams.
Right.
And there still is a ton of pedestrian activity at that intersection.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because Farmers Market still be going too.
Yeah.
So we'll have to close, like I said, we'll have to go to 3rd Street and close Washington.
Okay.
And all the all the parking has to be closed too there.
So then Adams will be closed from 3rd to Fur.
Right.
Okay. And Fur is where the Granada Theater and Community Merch
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Community Matters.
Yeah.
Corner is,
Right. Yeah. So that intersection. So, okay. So now talk to us what some of the different organizations are doing.
First of all, we have, I'll just kind of tell you where they're going to be located.
Okay.
Between 4th and Depot will be the police car, because there'll be a police car down there for kids to climb in, push the siren, run the lights, whatever. There'll be a fire truck and an ambulance for the kids to go in. There'll be Mid-Columbia bus service to let kids go into the bus and look at it. There'll be somebody from the trolley is going to be down there, and there'll be a tractor and a side-by-side from CAPS, which is used to be Napa. Not Napa, excuse me, used to be Baxter's. That's over on, is it Albany?
Okay.
Yeah. And they're coming down, and then there'll be a tractor coming in from New Holland. That's going to let the kids climb on it. And there could be something else too, but I haven't heard that yet. And I was trying to get the National Guard to bring down the climbing wall, but I haven't heard yet from them if I've got that. And then so that's to Depot. And then, of course, right in front of Tap That, there's going to be a cornhole competition if they get teams. And then between Depot and Elm will be Rotary is doing their games, and I believe you're doing.
So
I'd say you.
So you kind of shoehorned me into this. So we're going to have family style games that will be there. There will be cornhole there.
That's non-competitive.
It's non-competitive. The games that we have will be families can walk by and participate and have a cornhole competition, or have a mini, potentially a mini golf course. A simple one, and a frisbee golf. I mean, we're still fleshing that out. We have a week.
I know you do.
We got time. So, and we're going to have some dance lessons during the particular time, but we haven't got that all figured out.
I'm trying to I'm glad to hear what you're going to have, because we're going to put a Facebook out on that.
Okay.
And also you're sharing that road with the Optimist Club, who's doing the football toss.
Football toss?
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure what they're doing, but it's the football toss. And then down on between Elm and Jefferson will be the Soapbox Derby is coming, and they'll have cars available for adults and for children to take rides down their slope. They build a ramp, and they can compete because they even have trophies for it.
So this is on Adams. It
will be on Elm. So it'll be right on the corner of Adams, starting down to Jefferson. And then the City Parks has the one between Elm and Fur. With the children's zone. They're calling it a children's zone. And I'm not really sure. I know they're having a hay maze, and I think they're having face painting and chalk art and other things that Chris is planning from the parks.
Okay.
And then, of course, Seroptimus is having their caramel corn, or caramel apples, excuse me.
Okay.
And Lions is doing a Pepsi something.
All right.
Pepsi. And then I think there's 8 vendors coming down, craft vendors, and I'll scatter them around.
Okay.
Becky's Burgers will be there, and Shaved Ice, which I hope it's warm.
It could be chilly.
Yeah, it could be a little chilly there for them. So that's basically, and then of course at 4:30 starts the chili feed.
Okay.
And the chamber is doing the chili cook-off.
Okay. And that is happening where?
In the parking lot by Benchwarmers.
Okay.
And I don't know how many teams. I know she had 5 teams as of last week.
Okay.
To do it, because I'm going to be working on that too, because the city council is having a team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Having a chili competition.
Yeah, we're having it. I'm not making the chili, but
yeah.
I'll be helping serve it.
and what's happening there is the people that are competing, they have to make the chili on location.
Yes, they do.
Starting at what time? And
I think they start at noon.
Okay.
They have 4 hours to make the chili.
Okay. And then around dinner time.
Yeah, 4:30 to 6 or so they'll be having, and I think that's the cost is $5 a person to taste all the different chilies.
Oh, interesting.
And they'll have a competition. Then you pick your favorite chili.
Oh, all right.
That's the chamber doing that one. And then they have a street dance going from 8 to 10, I believe.
Okay. Out in front of the...
Right on Depot.
Okay.
What's the music?
I have no idea.
Is it a band or is it?
I'm sure it'll be
DJ I think it's music. A disc jockey.
Yeah. Yep.
I think if it's last I heard was Scott was coming back down and he'll do the disc jockey.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. So now both, and this is kind of impacted us a little bit. Both Monica and Scott have resigned from their position. Right. So there's openings for executive directors in both LeGrand Main Street and Chamber.
Yeah.
And Monica had her last day. Is Scott?
He's gone too.
Okay. Well.
So I hope that they have their dance. I don't know.
That was the last thing you heard.
That's the last thing I heard. You're right. And of course, the idea of this was that each organization does their own thing.
Yeah.
So it's not my responsibility. Just give them the space.
So they've got a spot. If they bomb, it's on them.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. No pressure. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it's community.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, it sounds, so then families can come starting at 11 o'clock, hang out, have a burger, hang around if they want to, and if they want to stay for chili, they can.
Or they can come back for chili.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And the theme, originally the theme was just to kind of create, a harvest party, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that the Optimist is also trying to get the schools to get involved to decorate the lampposts downtown.
Okay.
Which can stay up for trick or treat.
Yeah.
Make our downtown festive.
Yeah. Good. Well, let's talk real quick before we quit, about the other things that LeGrand Main Street does. Okay. Just kind of help people understand what maybe the major events, Crazy Days, the Halloween, the Halloween thing,
Christmas parade,
the Christmas parade. Okay, those are those are probably the main, and then the beer festival and is our main fundraiser. Right. Okay. So then what other things does LeGrand Main Street do downtown that people wouldn't know? Well, they are responsible for the flower baskets. Okay. And those are coming down this week too. Okay. So and we have, it's so nice because the college teams help us put them up and take them down. Okay. And one thing that was really unique this last year was those flower baskets. The flowers were prepped talk about how those flowers were acquired. They were acquired through the FFA. Okay. So they grew them for that purpose. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And they will do that again next year too. So what a cool thing, because in the past, in the past, LeGrand Main Street has bought them from a vendor, and that vendor actually had to go buy them from someplace outside of the valley and bring them in and stuff. Right. And this is we've had students that are growing those baskets. That's right. Yeah. That's really nice. Yes. Yeah. So that's from our design committee. Okay.
Because Main Street is based on 4 committees too.
Okay.
You have the outreach committee, which does membership and bylaws and just keeping the organization going.
Yeah.
Then you have the promotion committee that is responsible for the Halloween, the Christmas. Last year we also started the Shamrock Shuffle, and we had the St. Patty's Day pub crawl.
Right.
So that is part of the promotion committee. Crazy Days, the promotion committee.
Okay.
And let's see. Then we have the EV committee, which is economic vitality, that is working on the buildings and talking to different merchants about, do you want to expand your building? Do you want to have a facade grant? Whatever.
Okay.
And the other one would be, what is it? What's the one am I missing?
I think you had outreach, design, promotion, and,
okay, I guess I had one.
And economic vitality.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, awesome. And it makes people, I've said for years that we don't have a Main Street, and so it's a little bit of a weird title for us. But Main Street is a national organization that just kind of helps us, gives us structure, in order to have, actually have the organization.
Because there is a national Main Street, and then there's an Oregon Main Street.
Yeah.
And then we're part of the Oregon Main Street. Right.
And one of the advantages of us being a part of that national organization is they have grant funding.
Yes.
Okay. And now, I think if I've calculated it, with the most recent grant that has been given to the Evermine building, okay, I think the total is $700,000 that has come in.
Oh, at least, yes.
Yeah, because so the most recent grant was a $200,000 grant for the Evermine building to help restore the facade of that building.
They are doing a wonderful job.
That is an amazing thing.
That brick is so pretty. You think, why would anyone ever cover it?
Yeah. Well, and I know the Meilenbergs who are doing that, and they're just they're tremendous at that.
Right.
At doing that kind of thing. And I was president when that project came before us previously. And I frankly was just skeptical that it was even possible, and because part of it is nobody knew for sure what was under that.
Right.
And to do historical restoration like that is a heavy load. You have to use original materials to restore. There's a very stringent thing that has to be done, and it's on a reimbursement basis.
That's right.
So it's like, the person Jean and her husband were here. They were here a couple of, a month ago or so, and we talked about that. And there's a heavy responsibility on them, because whenever you have a reimbursement grant, it's like you have to dot all the I's and cross all the T's in order to get paid back for the money that you've already spent.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
You have to have matching funds to get that money back.
Yeah. And so that's
and then Bonenkamp is still working on theirs.
Right.
They have the 3 apartments upstairs, and then they want to go to the 3rd floor, but they don't. This grant that they had a $200,000 grant due, but theirs is for the 2nd floor.
Right. So, but over the years, the point being that $700,000 of grant money has come into the community to help these kinds of projects, and that is because of our association with Main Street.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's very important for people to know that we bring in a lot of money.
Right. And I just did not know. I didn't get the, there are times that with Main Street, I'm a little resistant to be told what to do and how to do things.
I know you were,
yeah. But on the same hand, it has served us really well. It has served our community really well.
It has. And then that means also that our businesses are spending a lot of money to renovate their buildings.
Yeah. So have you seen the new LeGrand downtown video?
I have. That's wonderful.
Thanhad very much.
I've seen there's several of them, isn't there?
Well, there's 2 different ones that we finally finished. We've had a contract with LeGrand Economic Development
Right.
for a couple of years, and it was extended because of the transition between directors, and then we were in the middle of COVID and all of that, and so and so just earlier this year we finally finished one on manufacturing in LeGrand.
Right.
That's one of them, and then the other one is the award-winning LeGrand Downtown.
I know, I love that one. It's
Thank
so
you.
great.
Yeah, and so anyhow, we haven't. I haven't shared those because I didn't know for sure. I mean, we haven't shared them on EOL Live or anything because, well, I mean, economic development, they're the client, and so I wanted to make sure they had them posted first. You know.
Oh yeah, they're posted.
Yeah.
And we have them on our Facebook page. I know.
Yeah. So anyhow, that was a fun video to do because, you know, I mean, clearly, if I was president for a few years and been on the board and stuff, I mean, I believe in LeGrand,
right,
the downtown, and I didn't understand how vital that was to us, how vital that is to any community,
right.
And then when you have people like had recently this last summer, the people who've come in downtown and they've looked at, you know, they've looked at the bowling alley, they looked at the restoration that's going on, they looked at what's going on,
right,
you know, and it's like, you guys, I mean, they were genuinely complimentary about the things that we're doing.
I know. I was, you know, last year I was at the Oregon Main Street Conference.
Yeah.
And I had to accept the award for the bowling alley because they got an award for
right,
it.
Yeah.
And people looked at it, and then people after that said, I'm going to come to LeGrand. I love that bowling alley.
Right.
It is beautiful.
Right.
They've done a great job.
And it's not, I mean, the bowling alley is amazing, but there's several standout things.
Yes, there is. Like
that, you know. And I mean, anybody who goes to the Marketplace Underground, you know, that is an amazing environment, you know, and the bowling alley. And the things that we're doing with now, you and I, we get kind of, I mean, the board at times is a heavy load, and it's really hard to see the things that are being accomplished because every year you just kind of eke a little bit at a time, and so then you lose track of that.
Right.
That whole thing.
And sometimes because of losing executive directors, you kind of step back a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you have to go forward again.
Right.
So.
Well, and it's not only that, but it's just the entire downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been a part of the process. I mean, you've served on the city council also for many years. Right. And so were you on the city council when they decided to put the lamp posts up and do all that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was called what, the H or
well, the Big H.
The Big H.
The Big H was the one that went from Depot to Elm.
Okay.
And then we did the next phase a couple of years ago where we went from 4th to Depot.
Okay.
And now I'm hoping, as a counselor, can I put that hat on for a minute?
Yeah.
That we can extend that now from Elm down to Greenwood at least.
Okay.
So that the downtown is cohesive.
Okay.
All looks the same.
Right.
And that's the goal.
And people who, I mean, you don't even notice it now. I mean, when you drive into it, it just looks beautiful and quaint. And I mean, and I've had people that have visited LeGrand and those are the first things they say is like, wow, what a beautiful, quaint little downtown. Yeah. Well, I mean, when they said that, I was a little confused. It's like, are we talking about LeGrand? You know, but you take for granted all of those little things.
Yes, that we see every day.
Right. Yeah.
But when I think about how it started, when we started Main Street, how it's improved is unbelievable.
Yeah. So well, thank you.
Worth it. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And so let's pivot back before we quit. Pivot back to the
Harvest Festival. The Community Harvest Festival.
Community Harvest, and it's called Community Harvest Festival because it's being put on by multiple service organizations and organizations. They're not, I mean, that are helping put that together.
And they have kind of all made a commitment that we want to do it for at least 5 years because it's going to take 5 years to grow it.
Okay.
And we know that. This is the first year.
Okay.
So hopefully it should get bigger. We wanted to go down to Greenwood, but we just didn't have enough people entered and just didn't have it all quite together. Yeah. So next year we hope to move it down a little further, then a little further. and make more things, maybe even have a 2-day one.
Okay.
By the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Who knows?
And that starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday the 7th.
4 o'clock, right.
Okay.
And it's family friendly.
Yeah. Excellent.
And we really wanted to have a family friendly event downtown.
Okay. And from 11 to 4, that's when the stuff in the street is happening.
That's right.
And then at 5 o'clock, the chili feed and the dance out there in front of the Chamber of Commerce in that area. Right. That's when that's going to take place.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's like we've been talking about this for weeks.
I know.
Months.
months. Yeah. It doesn't take it. You can't organize this in weeks.
Yeah. Well, Marianne, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
Sure.
And I'm one of your biggest fans. I talk to people about you
That's good.
Yeah, because your service, not only on LeGrand Main Street, but on the city council has been really appreciated.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I say this a lot, and that is that longevity really makes a difference. I mean, when somebody takes the director of something, and, Youth for Christ is the example that I use all the time. Kim and Kevin Rainey have been there for 16 or 17 years now. Well, when they started, they were new. They didn't really know what they were doing, but over a course of time, them being there consistently for years and years have just made a significant difference. And you can say that same thing, whether it's on the city council, whether it's on LeGrand Main Street, or these organizations that just need consistent board members and leadership. It makes a lot of difference.
Well, and I think all the service organizations need members too.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs members, and we'd love to have new volunteers. So if anybody out there is wanting to volunteer to be on something, give us a call.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
different things.
In LeGrand Main Street, there you can get to know the organization just by being a part of a committee.
Right.
And understanding how that committee works and how it fits into the bigger plan. And then
and you can pick what you want. If you want to just work on crazy days, fine. Come work on crazy days.
Yeah. Excellent.
And plan it. Yeah.
All righty.
Okay.
All right, man. You want to get us out here?
Let's do it.
All right.
On this day, September 28th, 1850, the United States Navy finally abolished flogging as a punishment.
1850?
Yeah, they're still flogging people. On this day in 1892, the first recorded night football game was played in Mansfield, Pennsylvania. So that means under lights, obviously.
Yeah.
So, 1892. 1937, Franklin Delano Roosevelt dedicated Bonneville Dam on the Columbia River.
What year was
1937.
that? Wow.
1944, Teddy Roosevelt Jr. is posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for directing troops at Utah Beach during the D-Day landings. So that would be the son of the president, Teddy Roosevelt. So his son was posthumously awarded a Medal of Honor. He was at D-Day. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
1955, the first World Series color TV broadcast ever on NBC. The Yankees beat the Dodgers.
What year again?
1955.
Wow.
2008, SpaceX launches the first ever private spacecraft, the Falcon 1, into orbit. 2015, NASA scientists announced the discovery of flowing water on Mars. So the first time we knew that there was water that moved on Mars was 2015.
Wow.
2022, Yankee slugger Aaron Judge hits his 61st home run of the season, tying Roger Maris's American League mark from 1961. So that was the most home runs in the American League in 62 years or something like that. And that was last year. The number one song in America on this day in 1973, Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. And the quote for the day: if you accomplish something good with hard work, the labor passes quickly, but the good endures. If you do something shameful in pursuit of pleasure, the pleasure passes quickly, but the shame endures. One more time. If you accomplish something good with hard work, the labor passes quickly, but the good endures. If you do something shameful in pursuit of pleasure, The pleasure passes quickly, but the shame endures.
Interesting. Good stuff.
That's it.
All righty.
On a Thursday.
Yeah. Thank you, Eastern Oregon. Thanks, Marianne.
You bet. Thank you
for being here. Yep. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday. Yep, right here.